So Donald Trump has done a number of things on his first day, and the first and biggest one, I would argue, is actually very good news. Whoa, didn't see that coming. So he has sunk the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Now, I'll tell you why that's good news in a second, but first let me give you an update on exactly what happened here. Go to the New York Times. President Trump formally abandoned the Trans-Pacific Partnership on Monday, pulling away from Asia and scrapping his predecessor's most significant trade deal on his first full weekday in office, administration officials said. Now, I know that Donald Trump likes to attack the New York Times, but I'm sure he would agree that is true. They explain, although candidates have often criticized trade deals on the campaign trail, those who made it to the White House, including President Barack Obama, ended up extending their reach. I wanted to give you that context, as the New York Times did, because it's absolutely true. So often candidates will be like, oh, the trade deals hurt us, and I'm going to reconsider. And if you remember, Obama got in a little bit of trouble because during his campaign, he actually reached out to Canada and said, yeah, I'm kidding. We're not going to renegotiate NAFTA or anything like that. Don't worry, I'm actually on your side and on the side of multinational corporations. This is part of why the Democrats lost to Trump. Not just on the policy of TPP, which the country is definitely against, but on the idea that candidates claim to be on one side and then wind up being on the other. For example, does anyone really believe that Hillary Clinton was going to get rid of Trans-Pacific Partnership on her first day like Trump is? Keep it real. If you believe that, you were sorely mistaken. And most people did not believe it. Part of the reason why they voted for him, because they didn't trust her on policy issues. So there's a million things you shouldn't trust Trump on, and I've gone over them over and over again. But on that, I think that the American people were largely right in not trusting Hillary Clinton. I would have been very surprised if she actually got rid of TPP, and certainly wouldn't have done it on the first day. So now it doesn't matter which day she did it on if she actually did it. But I didn't believe her. I didn't, and Obama wasn't telling the truth when he said he was against those trade deals. And if history is any judge, neither was Hillary Clinton. So here Trump actually does deliver credit where credit is due. Now, in fact, he's going against most of his own party. New York Times explains that as well. In discarding the Trans-Pacific Partnership, or TPP, Mr. Trump tacked away from his Republican allies in Congress who have long supported such trading agreements. In fact, Paul Ryan, the Speaker of the House for the Republicans, was working with Barack Obama to fast-track that agreement so that Congress couldn't even debate it after the Obama administration negotiated it. Even though they fought Obama on everything else, when it came to supporting their donors that were multinational corporations, Paul Ryan and Obama, the establishment Democrats and the establishment Republicans, completely agreed. So thank God that they did not win in that regard, at least. Now, there's many other, of course, problems with the Trump administration, but this isn't one of them. They got 99 problems, but TPP ain't one. So John McCain is one of those establishment Republicans, and he is aggrieved. He says, this is a serious mistake that will have lasting consequences on my donors. I mean, for America's economy and our strategic position with multinational corporations, I mean, in the Asia-Pacific region. Okay, so that's what John McCain is saying. Now, let me explain what the pact was in case you didn't know, and what the issues were, and what I think was the most important part, and why I'm happy with this development. So, again, the Times says, aides signaled that Mr. Trump may also move quickly on renegotiating NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement. He is scheduling meetings with the leaders of Canada and Mexico, the two main partners in that pact. Okay, so he's even going further than TPP. Now, back to TPP. The agreement brought together the United States and 11 other nations along with the Pacific Rim, including Canada, Mexico, Japan, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Australia, creating a free trade zone for about 40% of the world's economy. That's gigantic. It was intended to lower tariffs while setting rules for resolving trade disputes, setting patents, and protecting intellectual property. So I'm not against free trade, and different progressives have different points of view here, and I'm not against lowering tariffs. But what I am against is the ending of that explanation. Rules for dissolving trade disputes. You know what that means? That means that corporations can take you and I to court, not to a U.S. court, but to an international court, and they could sue us for blocking their profits. Now, why would we block their profits? Well, for example, if we said, hey, don't pollute in the river that goes by my house that my kids sometimes play in. You blocked my profits. I was going to make more money by polluting in that river. I'm taking you to court. That court could have a ruling that actually trumps our sovereignty. That's insane. No real conservative or real progressive should agree with that. So I'm not against free trade. I'm against free trade where you totally rig the rules so that corporations are above nation states. To that I say hell no, and the American voters both on the left and the right said hell no, let alone all the different laws and rules and regulations they put in there to protect intellectual property. Do you have to protect intellectual property? Yes. Do you have to do it by creating monopolies? No. So the drug companies, among others, would insist on charging enormous rates throughout the world and having the market all to themselves. They insisted on protecting monopolies for years on end. So to that we say no. To that Donald Trump said no. So it is an action he takes on the first day that is very positive. There is one more voice of agreement on this. It's Bernie Sanders. He simply said, I'm glad the Trans-Pacific Partnership is dead and gone. Hear, hear, brother. So this is something the entire American people agreed upon. We all agreed that we would like to rule ourselves and not give away our own freedom and liberty to multinational corporations. So Trump, on this one, tip of the hat. On the rest of them, oh boy. You're at the end of this video, so the Young Turks is over. Wrong! The Young Turks is just beginning. Membership gives you the full 2-hour show, plus all of our member shows, old school, aggressive, progressive, TYT postgame every single day. Join and come and see how great membership is. TYTnetwork.com/join.